Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. I hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves. Now, today's episode is one that is near and dear to my heart because I'm going to be ranking the albums of the band Sweet, one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time. However, I am only ranking the albums from the Brian Connolly years. So let's go ahead and jump right in. There are 6 studio albums with Brian Connolly, but I am including a 7th because a while back they released an album called The Early Years, and on the front cover was a picture of all 4 gentlemen in a park, and I think all of them were hanging out on a black bench. You can't get it anymore. As I said, it's out of print, but you can get it on the 2 CD version of Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. Unfortunately, when I bought the box set, I was disappointed, excited at the same time because now I have some bonus live stuff and that sort of thing. Here's the back of it. I did a video on this before, but, well, on the box set, not the ranking, but I was disappointed to see that The Early Years was not included. You would think that would be in that. So in the box set, you just get Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. So coming in at number 7 is The Early Years, and it's disc 2. So what you get in disc 2 is, again, it's called The Early Years. You get Slow Motion, It's Lonely Out There, Lollipop Man, then Time, All You'll Ever Get From Me, The Juicer, Get on the Line, and Mr. McGallagher. I like this album. I'm very fond of it. Of course, it's them in their early days, and they're not, they're not in their prime. Obviously, they haven't found their sound, their signature sound, really. But there's some good stuff here. I really like It's Lonely Out There. Lollipop Man is, I don't know, for a long time now, kind of an underrated gem by many of us Sweet fans. All You'll Ever Get From Me is, I think, phenomenal. I love The Juicer, and I love Get on the Line. And I think there was a small bit of a hit with Mr. McGallagher. So coming in at number 7, dead last of the Brian Connolly years, is The Early Years. Having said that, we'll stick with this one. Whether you're talking about this or this, is Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. You get the quasi title track in Cocoa, Chop Chop, Reflections, Honeysuckle Love. Of those 4, I like Cocoa and Reflections the best. Santa Monica Sunshine is a good song. Daydream I'm quite fond of. Funny Funny, the other half of the title track, I guess, is a good song. Tom Tom Turnaround is good. Genie, I think, is an underrated masterpiece. Sunny Sleeps Late is good. Spotlight is good. And my favorite song on here is the last, if you don't count the bonus track, which is Done Me Wrong, All Right. And then finally the bonus track, Be With You Soon. So number 7, The Early Years, and number 6, Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. All right, so that was 7 and 6. Number 5 is Off the Record. Fever of Love, great song. Lost Angels, great song. Midnight to Daylight, I love, great song. Windy City, very good song. Live for Today has a quasi-punk feel to it. I like it. I remember when I first bought this on vinyl, I had to hunt it down in high school because it was out of print, use a record store in the French Quarter, and when I put Live for Today on, I was like, wait a minute, I've heard this before. I guess the radio played it once or twice and it sunk in, but I really love that song. She Give Me Lovin' is good. Laura Lee is good. Hard Times, and Funk It Up. And then you have some bonus tracks on here, which I won't go into, alternate versions, U.S. singles, that kind of thing. This is them with their visual puns. Of course, the follow-up to this is Cut Above the Rest, where Connolly's no longer in the band. If you know the history, he was punched in the throat in a bar fight, and he could never sing right after that. And then they become a trio. As far as Cut Above the Rest goes, I liked it when I was in high school. I listen to it now, and I don't need to listen to it, unfortunately. It fell out of favor with me. This isn't, I think, an album that doesn't get talked enough about. So this came in the box set. I really like this album. And of course, this is a visual pun because the needle is literally off the record. All right. And so that was number 5. Number 4 is Level Headed. And if you look at you open it up and you get the original album cover from vinyl. And again, this is also a visual pun because you're looking at the level of the heads in the tape deck, right? So this has a lot of bonus tracks on it. When I first heard Love Is Like Oxygen and I heard that it was sweet, I was like, really? That's sweet? It didn't take long to grow on me. I would say that, yeah, I would say it. Memory is not perfect, but I would say that I liked it immediately because when I heard the instrumental part, when you have the classical guitar chime in and then it goes up an octave or down an octave as it keeps going, and then it gets heavy, but it's the same notes. It's fabulous. So you get Dream On, which is good. Love Is Like Oxygen. California Nights is a great pop song. Strong Love is a great pop song. Fountain is wonderful. Anthem number 1, Lady of the Lake, I just love. Silver Bird is a great pop song. Letters d'Amour, I love. Anthem number 2 is great. And then you get the quirky but lovable Air on a Tape Loop where Connolly sings Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, right? It's great. And then you get a lot of bonus tracks here, 7-inch versions of songs. And then what the highlight of the bonus tracks is the song Cover Girl, which was a B-side to something, it was a B-side to Love Is Like Oxygen, the single version of that, which didn't have that acoustic bit, right? And then Show Me the Way, which is phenomenal. So, and then you get some rehearsal versions, and then you get an acoustic guitar version of Dream On. I think this is a great album. All right, so that was number 4. Number 3 is the British version of Desolation Boulevard. So let's talk about. Here is what I just showed you comes from the box set. And I also, before I got the box set, before it was released, I tracked down from England just a CD version of the British version. And I've always had, for the longest time, the American version, which essentially is the greatest hits. And also before I bought the box set, Sweet Fanny Adams. But if we talk about the American version for a minute, you get Ballroom Blitz, the 16s, No You Don't, AC/DC, I Want to Be Committed, Sweet F.A., Fox on the Run, Set Me Free, Into the Night, and Solid Gold Brass. With the exception of Solid Gold Brass, great from start to finish. Those first 9 songs, Solid Gold Brass is okay. I did not know when I was a kid. We're talking 3rd, 4th grade, so 9, 10 years old, that this was a greatest hits. That there were 2 versions. British band, you have American version, you have a American version like Whitesnake, the Beatles, etc., the Rolling Stones. Anyway, so I will say where I put this at the end. So back to the British version. You get the 16s, Solid Gold Brass. Turn It Down, not on the American version, is amazing. Medusa with 2 S's, not on the American version, amazing. Lady Starlight, which has been, in various incarnations as bonus tracks on one version of this, one version of the one I'm about to show you next. Man with the Golden Arm, the drum solo is good. You get the album version of Fox on the Run, however, different from the American version. Breakdown is amazing, not on the American version. My Generation, the Who cover, is amazing. And then bonus tracks, I Want to Be Committed, which is the strung up full-length version, which I am very fond of. A demo version of Medusa. Burn on the Flame, which, wow, is amazing. It's a demo, but it's amazing. Then you get some bonus tracks. Turn It Down, album intro. It's great. Are You Coming to See Me? Fox on the Run demo and Lady Starlight demo. Boy, I love this. This is great. All right, so this was number 3. Number 2, Sweet Fanny Adams. Take that back. Misspoke. Number 2, Give Us a Wink. Had them out of place. These could flip though, but number 2, Give Us a Wink. This used to be number 1 for the longest time. So The Lies in Your Eyes, great song. Cockroach, you're getting some heavy stuff here. Keep It In, kind of heavy. 4th of July, Light and Shade song. Connolly singing up in the high register a lot. And then you get the album version, the hit off this album, Action. But boy, the next song is my favorite, Yesterday's Rain. That intro guitar is amazing, and the way that Connolly sings with that raspy voice is phenomenal. Boy, what some heavy guitar work on this, as is on this. White Mice is nice, and then you get Healer. This album, for whatever reason, has a Zeppelin-esque quality to it. It's not exact, but there's something about it that has a Zeppelin feel to it, and I can't put my finger on what that is. There's some bonus. There's the Cockroach Munich mix, the 4th of July Munich mix, and then you get the strung-up edited version of Action and the demo of Cockroach. Let's see. I meant to mention that if we look at the non-box set version of Desolation Boulevard, still the British version, you have different demos or different alternate tracks or bonus tracks, I should say. You have Own Up, Take a Look at Yourself, Burn on the Flame, Someone Else Will, which is not on this. So if we compare them side to side, which is what I should have did. Okay, so Own Up, Take a Look at Yourself is not in the box set, but Burn on the Flame is. Let's see. But unfortunately, it's just demo. This is not the demo. So you may want to get the non-box set version of Desolation Boulevard, British version, if you can get it, because of Own Up, Take a Look at Yourself, and Burn on the Flame. It's the B-side of the 16s, and because of Someone Else Will, which is the B-side of Turn It Down. And then you have Misdemeanor, which is also not on this. So you need to get, if you're a purist or you're a collector and you got to have them all, you want to get both versions of the British version of Desolation Boulevard, because there's some hits on the CD that's not in the box set. There's some tracks on here that are on the box set version. So box set version you need to get, and then the non-box set version, because they're not exactly the same, because you're going to miss out on songs you don't have here and songs you don't have on here. So that's just the way it rolls sometimes. So my number 2, Give Us a Wink. And then my number 1 is Sweet Fanny Adams, and that's because of the following songs: Set Me Free, No You Don't, So Heavy, and Sweet F.A., So Heavy with that guitar. Now, all the songs here are Set Me Free, Heartbreak Today, No You Don't, Rebel Rouser, Peppermint Twist, very bubblegum-esque type song, but I like it, Sweet F.A., Restless, which is good, Into the Night, AC/DC. So 5 or 6 songs on here originally, or rather, make their way onto the American version of Desolation Boulevard. Bonus tracks: Into the Night demo, Set Me Free demo, and Rebel Rouser, Steve Priest lead vocal version, which I'm quite fond of. Almost as good as the Connolly version. So number 1 is Sweet Fanny Adams. So if we backtrack, again, number 7 is The Early Years, disc 2 on Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. Number 6, Funny How Sweet Cocoa Can Be. Okay. Number 5, Off the Record. Number 4, Level Headed. Number 3, British version of Desolation Boulevard. I would include these both in the same slot, whether you get either version of Desolation Boulevard, either version of the British version, I should say that. Number 2, Give Us a Wink. And number 1, Sweet Fanny Adams. Now, where would this go if you put a gun to my head metaphorically and say this has to go and you would make 8? I would put this in the 2 spot above Give Us a Wink. So it would go in between Sweet Fanny Adams and Give Us a Wink. But it is a greatest hit, so I'm not including. But if you said, hey, you have to put it, there it goes. So there is my ranking of, again, one of my favorite bands of all time, top 10, the band Sweet, short discography, if you're just talking about the Brian Connolly years, but what a discography. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.